Hey guys, it's Chris Lianos. I'm coming to you live from the beautiful beach here in Honolulu. And today I want to share a message that came to me frankly last night as I was busy, putting the final touches into a new program that I'm putting together. As you know, I've come out of the tribal weekend, the tribal 4-day event with Randy Gage. That was about a week and a half ago now. And that really pushed me into a new level of productivity and certainly got me thinking about things that I can do to share my message in a more productive, efficient and an effective way. So here's something that came to me last night. In personal development architecture, we talk about the positives of what you do and the negatives of what you do, or your strengths and your weaknesses. And there's a lot of people out there who talk about the fact that you should really just focus on your strengths, go all in on what you're good at, and don't worry so much about what you are not good at. Focus on everything on what you are good at, go all in on that, and leave the development areas to something else. Well, there are some pros and cons about that, and I want to share some of that with you today. So here's what I want you to really consider. I, for instance, find it very challenging to do the back-end work of putting my content out into the world. The back-end work in terms of the website, the back-end work in terms of the audio, the back-end work, splicing and putting it all together, clipping content, and that's just not my strength. I prefer and I really like to create content, to shoot videos, to record podcasts, to write blogs. I enjoy that, and I find it for me that I do that easier than I do in working on the back end. However, and I think this is the catch, is that unless I've got somebody doing my back end, then my lack of skills in the back end is going to hold me back from putting the content out into the world. So my area of growth, if we want to call it that, is really that back-end material. And this is what you need to think about. See, your weakness, your area of opportunity, your area of growth is going to hold back the strengths that you have unless you find a way to work with that area of growth, unless you find a way to outsource it, unless you find a way to make it function. So you have a couple of options, right? You can go all in and try to develop that area yourself. Like for me, the back end, the funnels and the splicing and the dicing of the audio, they're all things that I struggle with. Like I can do it. It takes me some time. And what that means is that material that I have recorded, that I've created, has to wait until I have that in place. So you have to remember that wherever your weakness is, that weakness is going to hold back your strengths. It's not just a weakness. It's not just an area of growth. It's an area that's literally going to hold back your strengths. So you have a choice. How are you going to do this? How are you going to manage this? Accepting that it is there is the first thing. And then recognizing that if you don't deal with it, if you just allow yourself to keep on working through it, like for instance, right, I'll give you an example. So I have a new product that's launching in the next week, and I've created all the back-end content, the videos, the audios. I've done all the work, created it all into ClickFunnels, but I have no idea how to integrate all this stuff together, how to build an email sequence. Now I could spend the days, because it will take me days to figure this out. I could really do that. I could spend days to figure all this out, or I could outsource it, or I could reach out and say, hey guys, this is what I've got. I need something done with this. This is the area that I'm working on. Who can help me? And this is what I'd encourage you to do. Whatever area is your weakness, whatever area is your growth area, you have a choice of whether you are going to do it yourself, whether you're going to send it out to somebody who is an expert at it. Because let me tell you one thing, the expert is going to get it done a lot quicker than you will. The expert is going to get it done a lot quicker than you will. That's why they're the expert. So what do? Do you go all in and work on the mindset of, hey, it's good for me to know how to do it, just in case I need to do it one day on my own? And yeah, that's one way to do it. I know that there are some coaches out there who espouse that form of technique. I'm not one of them. I prefer that you get your material out into the world as quickly as possible, which means that you have to look for people that know how to do it. Now, when you're just starting out, that can often be a challenge, right? Because financially, you have to pay someone, right? Or do you? or do you? Maybe part of the solution here is that you get to trade with the other person. So if financially you're struggling, financially you're saying, hey, listen, I can't afford that, Chris, that sounds great, but I'm not in a position to be able to afford to outsource all my work, to outsource this material. Great. So be a little bit creative. What can you trade with this person? If you're a coach, maybe you can trade some coaching. If you're a writer, maybe you can trade writing some articles. What can you trade that will help you get ahead, and also the person that is the expert in what you need get ahead as well? So think about that this week. Think about the area that is your area of opportunity, the area that is your area of growth. How is it holding you back from the things that you're actually really, really good at? And let me know what you think. Reach out to me on Twitter. If you listen to this on a podcast, reach out to me on Twitter. If you're watching this on video on the Chris Lianos channel on YouTube, then reach out and put some comments down below. Let me know where you are in this one, because I'm pretty certain there's going to be some discrepancies in terms of how people think about this. Some people are going to say, hey, go all in on your weaknesses. Others are going to say, yeah, just outsource everything out and focus on what you're good at. I'm really interested to hear what you have to say, what you think in this field. I know which way I'm going. I'm outsourcing because I need to get my material out into the world, and I haven't got time to sit back and learn all these new tricks and ways of doing things that's going to make it easy. So I'm going to pay someone to do it for me, and that way I can focus on what I know that I am good at. All right, guys, have an amazing day. I will talk to you real soon. How good is this scenery? Honolulu, absolutely beautiful. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.